Hi everybody, welcome to another week of Makers Monday. Now you may be thinking to yourself, this is not Monday, what is she doing? But today is Makers Monday on a Wednesday. So I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and thank you for joining me for another week of live step-by-step crafting. Now you may be telling yourself, so why didn't she go live on Monday? Well, last week, if you remember, Facebook had a huge outage all day on Monday, so I was unable to go live last week. Now this week, I was on vacation and was supposed to be back Sunday night, but if you follow the news at all, you may have noticed that over 2,000 Southwest Airlines flights were canceled on Sunday. Of course, 2 of those flights were mine to come home. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to do a Makers Monday because at 5 o'clock on Monday, I was stuck in an airport. But I'm back, I'm excited to show you these projects finally, and really looking forward to being able to create these to you just about a week and a half later than I expected to. Now let me go ahead and make sure that I'm live here on Facebook. If you're joining me, make sure to comment, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. It's fun each week to see where everybody is joining me. If you're watching this via replay on my YouTube channel or here on Facebook, make sure to comment replay and let me know that you were able to join me. So it looks like, hi Kathy, hi Pam, hi Linda, glad that you guys were able to join me this week. Yes, I am so happy to have been home. We took a weekend trip to a cabin in Montana, and on Sunday we were supposed to fly from Bozeman, Montana to Denver and then connect back here in Tucson. But unfortunately, the Southwest Airlines fiasco happened. Our flight was canceled Saturday night, and then they weren't able actually to give us a flight until Tuesday night, so 2 days later. But another factor into that, there was a huge snowstorm coming to Bozeman on Monday. So we actually rented a car, drove 9 hours to Denver. We left our friends, they had a flight Monday morning, and then we didn't have a flight until Monday evening. So we spent 12 hours in the USO from when they opened to basically when they closed on Monday. And we finally made it back into Tucson at 10 o'clock on Monday night, almost 30 hours after we were supposed to be home. But I am excited, I'm home, I'm ready to get back into the swing of things. So we just have a little Makers Monday on a Wednesday. Excuse me. So it looks like we've got a good crowd here today. Penny, Chris, Connie, thank you. All right, today I'm going to be featuring 2 projects from the Seasons of Fun stamp set. Now this is a little hidden gem in the July through December mini catalog that you may not have noticed at all. It is very difficult to find because it is on the last page of the mini catalog. So today I'm going to be showing you a fall themed card and then also a Halloween themed treat box. Now this treat box is really fun because you can pare it down to feature whatever size of candy or goodie that you want to put inside of it. But today I'm going to be showing you with a candy that I got from my local Walgreens. All right, let's go ahead and swap the camera here today. Now, before we get started, oh, it looks like my camera moved. There we go. Let's pare that down a little bit. I had it all set up before I was ready to go. I don't know why it moved so much, but there we go. Let's just leave it and hopefully it will sit there. All right, so today, the 2 projects that I will be creating, like I mentioned, feature the Seasons of Fun stamp set. I really like this set because it is a great set to use with either watercolor pencils or Stampin' Blends markers. And today I'm going to show you with Stampin' Blends markers. I really like Stampin' Blends. They're fun and easy to use, and they really do make your projects kind of pop when you use them. So if you are new, each week I do something called Prize Patrol, and what Prize Patrol is all you have to do is share this video to be entered in to win. Now, our Prize Patrol from 2 weeks ago, 3 Mondays ago actually, because I wasn't able to do it 2 weeks ago, last week, whenever. So our projects then had featured this gold metallic ribbon. This is the gold shimmer ribbon, 3/8 of an inch wide, and these gold holly leaves. So it was a 2 for Prize Patrol. Now this week's Prize Patrol winner is Peggy Barth. So congratulations, Peggy. You are the winner of last week's Prize Patrol. And all you have to do is message me your address and I will pop this in the mail for you as soon as I get that. So congratulations to Peggy. She was our Prize Patrol winner. Now, our Prize Patrol for this week is actually the Seasons of Fun stamp set. Now, I had mentioned that this is a hard to find stamp. Now, let me try to fix my camera here a minute. I don't know what it's doing. Let's see if that helps maybe. It seems like it's like sagging. I need to tighten it up a little bit. Hopefully that helps. Let's just kind of tighten some of these screws up. All right. Seasons of Fun stamp set is our Prize Patrol for this week. Now this stamp set is actually, like I mentioned, all the way in the back of our mini catalog. This is on page 78 and this is actually a host stamp. So to receive this, when you place an order that hits $120 or $150 prior to shipping and tax, you get something called Stampin' Rewards. And it is free product that you can choose from the catalog of anything of your choice. And then Stampin' Up! Has a few items that are only available with Stampin' Rewards. So this Seasons of Fun stamp set is actually one of those items that is a Stampin' Rewards only product. So page 78, this has a $20 value for this stamp set, but if you redeem it with Stampin' Rewards, it is $12 to redeem it for Stampin' Rewards. So of your free Stampin' Rewards, it counts towards $12 of that, but it is a $20 value. Now this is a traditional red rubber cling stamp set, and it has 7 stamps in it, and I love these little kids. They're really fun. So you have like a fall, a Halloween, a Christmas, and then leaves, snowflake, stars, and this little cute dog. Look at its nose. Like, that is super cute. But that is our Prize Patrol for today. Now, October 1st started the new Stampin' Up! Year, and with that, I'm making a little bit of changes with Makers Monday. So each week, I always provide, where did it go? Here it is. Each week I always provide this free PDF to you, and I will still continue to do this. But if you place an order of $35 or more using my host code that I'll always have here at the top, if you place an order $35 prior to shipping and tax using my host code, I will send you the supplies to create this week's projects. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to do any of the stamping. We're not allowed to send stamps through the mail, but I'll send you the paper embellishments, ribbon, whichever I used for the projects this week. If you are new, I do have a free PDF on my website of all the supplies that I'm using for my projects today. Now, this has the item names, item numbers, and prices for the projects. And this week's is actually a 2-pager because I'm using quite a bit of products, and then the dimensions are quite a bit for each of them as well. So if you do print this off, make sure you do both pages for our PDF list this week. And this is free on my website, stampinblondie.com. If you want the supplies to create these projects, you can place an order using my October host code, and I will send you the project pieces in the mail. So just a little update for Makers Monday with the start of the new Stampin' Up! Year. Now, this thing is really starting to annoy me here today. I don't know what its problem is. Let's see, maybe that'll help. I have no idea. I will just tighten everything up for now, and then we'll get it all fixed for next time. Who knows what its problem is. I feel like it's like in my face too. All right. let's go ahead and jump into our announcements. The first announcement that I have announced my first in-person fall creative retreat. Now, in the past, I have done 2 virtual retreats. These were full-day retreats. We just had one in August featuring the Pansy Petals stamp set. And then back in March, we had one with the Sand and Sea. Now, this is an in-person only event here in Tucson. Now, before you get worked up that I'm not doing this online, it's because my future goal is to offer in-person and online for my creative retreats. But first I needed to do a in-person one. I did a virtual already. I need to do an in-person one just to make sure that I've got everything figured out so that in the future I can offer both online and in-person. So this fall creative retreat will be hosted on Saturday, November, wow, I'm still in September. November 13th, and this is an all-day event hosted from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. We will be doing 8 make and take projects. You'll have table space to create all throughout the day. We will be featuring the Gorgeous Leaves stamp set. And if you don't have this, you can add this onto your registration for the event, or you can create with what I have. Lunch and dinner are an optional add-on. I know a lot of people have dietary restrictions, so if you want to add on your own lunch or dinner, you can do that separate. I think I already mentioned 8 make and take projects. We'll have a goodie bag with $25 worth of product, and it is going to be a really fun, exciting day. I'm really looking forward to hosting my first in-person retreat. Now, I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be held at Savano Community Center if you're here in Tucson. But all the details about this are on my website, stampinblondie.com, and I will post the link in the description of this video once I am done filming today. All right, so if you're interested, it's going to be a lot of fun. No matter what craft you're into, we'll still be able to work this. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the phone today. This is just a little crazy. Close your eyes, everybody, for a minute. I don't know why it's sagging so much. We'll just really tighten it all up here. I don't know. Well, I will fix that later. I didn't even move the thing. So normally, like, if you move it and I don't know, if you move it all over the place, it loosens it up, but I have not done anything to this camera mount, so we'll just go with what we got today. Here, I'll just move it down so maybe as it sags down it'll get it. All right, so our 2 projects we'll be creating today. Here's our first one. This fun little card is the fall card that I'll be making today. This features the Beauty of Earth Designer Series paper, and also this fun little Halloween treat box. Look at how cute that is. Now, I got this pumpkin marshmallow chocolate treat from Walgreens. So this box was created to fit this little pumpkin guy. Now you can change the size no matter what you are creating. You'll just have to kind of trim up the edges to create something smaller. But I'm just gonna make a bigger marshmallow treat here today. All right, we're gonna work on our fall card first. So let me grab all of my supplies. Like I mentioned, this features the Beauty of Earth 12x12 Designer Series paper. This paper is found in our annual catalog, actually, and it is perfect for fall crafts. We just had our fall Stampin' Bingo about 2 weekends ago, and we created really fun projects with this Beauty of the Earth 12x12 Designer Series paper. Now, this features Bumblebee, Cajun Craze, Cinnamon Cider, Early Espresso, Mary Merlot, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, and Old Olive. Now, these are all perfect fall colors, but you can also use this as a non-fall stamp set or designer series paper as well. It is beautiful, beautiful paper. I held off on using it until fall because it just, to me, screams fall projects. All right, we're gonna start with a 4 1/4 by 11 sheet of crumb cake cardstock. And we've got a piece of that Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. We are going to stamp some of our paper here first. Let me get all these pieces together. So we have a piece of Early Espresso cardstock. This is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And our piece of Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper, this is 3 inches by 4 inches. Remember, all of the dimensions for these are found on my website on that free PDF, so you don't have to write any of this down. Now I'm gonna use this little leaf stamp set here first, and we're gonna do 2 stamps in crumb cake on either side of our top and bottom of our card here. Sorry, not crumb cake, we're gonna use Sahara sand. So I've got this little leaf stamp here, and we're just gonna ink it up, stamp it in the upper left and lower right. Let me make sure I'm on screen here. I'm just gonna move everything up. There we go. So I know that I am in screen for you guys. My crazy camera, who knows? I don't know. Just gonna have to figure it all out when I'm done. All right, I've got Early Espresso. This is 4 1/4 by 1 1/4, and a piece of the Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper at 4 1/4 by 1 inch. So it's just going to be matted on the 2 sides. And I'm gonna use my Stampin' Seal adhesive for this. I'm just gonna do 2 long strips of that, and we're gonna place it right in the middle of our Early Espresso cardstock. And we're gonna mat this like the same thing we just did with our other piece of Designer Series paper. Just gonna run that along our Designer Series paper, the Stampin' Seal, and that's gonna get matted onto our piece of Early Espresso cardstock. Connie, I'm glad you had fun at bingo. I love bingo. It's your guys' favorite event that I do. It's my favorite event that I do, and it's just so much fun. All right, this is gonna go right in the middle of our card. And then this piece, we're just gonna layer right on top here. And this layout is actually really easy to switch it up and change the occasion. With Christmas and a lot of Christmas cards being made soon, you can easily swap out the paper and the colors, and this could be a great layout for Christmas cards. So you just put some Christmas paper here, some reds, greens, whatever you choose, and this is a really easy layout for Christmas projects as well. All right, we are gonna use a plethora of Stampin' Blends markers on this. So we have Cinnamon Cider, both light and dark. We have Misty Moonlight, light and dark. Smoky Slate, light and dark. Soft Succulent, light and dark. Now these two actually come together in a package as well, and one is ivory, one is bronze. Perfect for mixing and matching and doing different skin tones. You can blend these colors together and create a variety of different skin tones in whatever shade you want to do. Now, because we're using Stampin' Blends, we are going to use our Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Now, I've talked about it before. How do you know which ink to use when you're using Stampin' Blends and when you're using, say, watercolor pencils? Now, Stampin' Blends, because they are alcohol-based, they are what I like to say stinky. And then our Memento ink is non-stinky. So when you're using these, you want to make sure one is stinky and one is non-stinky. If you have watercolor pencils, those are not stinky, but you would use StazOn, which has a very distinctive smell to it. If you've ever used StazOn, it definitely is strong smelling. So that is how I consider stinky versus non-stinky, and how you can remember which black to use with whatever medium you are using. So I'm just stamping this. This is a piece of very vanilla cardstock, and that's gonna go right in the middle of our piece right here. All right, now look at the difference at what Stampin' Blends can do. It really steps up your image. You could just leave it as a black and white image. That's totally fine too. But Stampin' Blends really step up that image. So I've got my light cinnamon cider here. Cindy, I know, Cindy, I like the smell of StazOn too. Now, I'm not advocating to go and sniff your ink pads, but if you've ever used StazOn, you know it has a distinctive smell to it. I think it almost is like an almond scent. I don't want to compare it, but it does have a very distinctive smell. All right, I'm using the light cinnamon cider marker here, and I'm just quickly coloring in the leaves. Now with Stampin' Blends, the best thing is that they kind of tend to not feather, but they navigate a little bit from your original coloring. So with these, you don't have to perfectly fill in all the lines because it will move and fill it in for you. So some quick coloring here, and I really just want like a spot of the color, like a spotlight. I'm not filling in all the leaves. It's just gonna give the illusion that everything is filled in. Now, if you want to take the time to actually fill in each leaf, you can. And then these little squiggles down here, I'm just gonna fill in as well. Some more there. All right, next we're gonna do, so that's it for cinnamon cider. They all come in a dark and a light, so I grabbed them all, but I'm only gonna be using some light, some dark on the image. All right, next we're gonna do his shirt. Now this one I'm using both, so we're gonna start off with light, soft, succulent, and we're gonna do every other stripe here. So we're gonna just do every other stripe, and this is a way for me to show you how you can use both markers and they're not actually getting blended together. So we are going to fill this in now with dark, soft, succulent. When is the next bingo? Next bingo will be either January or February. It depends. I'm having another retreat. It'll be a winter retreat. So it'll be offset from that month. 1 month will be Stampin' Bingo, 1 month will be a retreat. So I just haven't figured out which is which yet. Steve from Blue's Clues. Yes, this is Steve from Blue's Clues. All right, Misty Moonlight. We are gonna start with the dark Misty Moonlight and just color in key points on his hat. That's it for the dark. Now the light, we're gonna fill in his hat. Now I have my workspace covered. If you've ever worked with Stampin' Blends before, you'll need to have your workspace covered because it can bleed through onto your paper and your workspace. You wouldn't want that. Get the brush end out here. And we're just coloring in his hat, and then his pants will be the same color here. So there we go. And that's it for our Misty Moonlight. Now our Smoky Slate, our dark Smoky Slate's gonna be his shoes. Light Smoky Slate is gonna be the cat. So you can see how you can use two of the colors and not even blend them together. So Stampin' Blends don't always have to be blended together for your projects. All right, now we're left with the bronze and the ivory. So all I'm doing is I'm gonna color him in with the ivory marker and his hand. Now before I color the face, I missed a little part on his hat. There we go. Now I'm gonna use the bronze. It's kind of hard to see, but there's like little hair wisps in there. So we're gonna take the bronze and fill that in. And then we're gonna do the ivory on his face. And that is all of our coloring using, like I said, the plethora of Stampin' Blends markers. So we'll put those all back. We're gonna add dimensionals to the back of this because it wouldn't be a Stampin' Blondie project without dimensionals. If you aren't familiar with what Stampin' Dimensionals are, they are little foam pop-up squares. and I am only putting them on the top and the bottom of my piece of paper here because this is going to kind of straddle that wood grain paper there. So if I was to put a Stampin' dimensional here, it could be too high with the height. So we're just got 2 Stampin' dimensionals on the top and 2 on the bottom. Now as a final for the sentiment, we are going to be using the Beauty of Friendship stamp set. This is coordinates with this Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. And we're going to use the thank you stamp. And we're going to ink this up using Sahara Sand ink again. So kind of tying everything together. I need to bring this closer so I can line it up here. So you may not see me actually stamping it. There we go. And our last bit, so if you follow my videos, I like to flag the ends a lot, but for this one, I'm just gonna cut the ends at an angle, here and here. And then for this, we're gonna add just a little bit of liquid glue to the back of the left side only. This is gonna hang off of our image here, so we're just going to put a little bit of glue on the left side of the project for the sentiment. And a final bit, these are the brushed metallic adhesive back dots. They're really pretty. They come in gold, copper, and brass, and 2 different sizes. You have a medium and a large. And what I did is, you may have missed it, but there is a copper large and the medium here. And so we're going, you can see copper's the one that I like to use the most. So we're gonna put the smaller size there with our take your pick tool, and then the bigger size right next to it. And that is our first project using the Seasons of Fun stamp set. This is found on the last page of the July through December mini catalog, and I really hope you guys like this one here today. Let me know what you think. Again, super easy, very fun. This camera's driving me crazy today. Trying to push it up so it's not in my face here anymore, too. Oh, there we go. Let's see if that helps. I don't know what is up with this thing today. Well, that didn't help any. There, stay. All right, but here's our project. I'll hold it up a little higher so you guys can see it. And there, I knocked that one off too. All right, so we're gonna move on to our second project. Let me put this stuff away here and bring in this really cute little box. So this one features the Seasons of Fun stamp set, but then also some Halloween products here. We are gonna be using the cutest Halloween stamp set, which I just did a class on this last month. And I love the sentiment, treat yourself. Now, I know my best friend's watching, and she informed me that October 13th, which is today, is National Treat Yourself Day. So treat yourself this box is perfect for National Treat Yourself Day today. So we're going to be using the cutest Halloween stamp set, and then also we'll be using the cutest Halloween designer series paper. Now this designer series paper is dual-sided. One side has color, and on this pattern it is polka dots, and on the other side they're all black and white designs, and this one has little candy corn and other little candies here. So perfect for this cute little box. Now I did 2 different pieces here because I wanted to show you and myself, so in case I mess up. We're gonna start with the blank piece, but this is what we're ultimately going to be doing to create the box. I need my measurement sheet for this one, definitely, just so I can tell you guys the right thing. All right, so we are gonna start with a piece of Granny Apple cardstock, and this is 7 3/8 by 5 inches long. Unfortunately, you can only get one of these out of a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So if you're making this, you definitely want to keep that in mind. You can only get 1 box per sheet of cardstock. Okay, now this is our scoreboard. If you've never seen me use this before, I use this for scoring all of my cards, 3D boxes and projects, and this is perfect for creating any type of 3D and like little treat box and bag that you would like to make. So the scoreboard has score lines at every 1/8 of an inch, and our cardstock, Granny Apple cardstock, Granny Apple Green, is 7 3/8, so this is the long end, and this 5 inches is the short end. So on the long end, we are gonna score at 2.5 and 3.5, okay? Long end, 2.5, 3.5. We're going to flip the paper and we're going to score on the short end, the 5-inch side. We're going to score at 1 and 4. Okay, and that will be our base of the box. From here, we're going to bring in our scissors. And what I'm gonna do is there's this little box that's right here. Hopefully you guys can see those score lines on with the lights. But we're gonna take our scissors and we're gonna cut right up to that first score line. Same thing here on this side. And we're gonna create a little tab with this. So we're gonna cut at an angle, just a little notch in the paper, and a little notch on this side too, and then see, we create this little tab there. Flip it around and do the same thing on this side, all the way up to that first score line. Same thing here, and cut a notch and another notch. Now your angles on your notches don't have to be the same. It's just to make it a little easier to put the box together, to have those little notches, because if it's full size, then it may not fit exactly right. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to fold our score lines. I like to fold everything in where my score line creates a valley. So when you use a scoreboard, when you run it down, the top is your valley, the other side is your mountain peak. So I'm gonna use the valley side and score everything on that side in. And same thing on this side. And you want to use a bone folder or something that can crisp up the lines, and that'll ensure that your box will stay together better. And like I mentioned, your lines are all crisp and ready to be folded. Okay, and then this last one on the inside. There we go. So here is kind of the rough part of our box. All right, I'm gonna be using tear and tape adhesive for this. You can use liquid glue, you can use our Stampin' Seal adhesive will work as well, but I'm gonna be using tear and tape. So we're gonna take a little piece of tear and tape and we're gonna put it, I cut too big, let's cut some of that off. We're gonna take this and put it on the inside of our tab. So a little piece of tear and tape on the inside of the tab, both sides. Now I like the tear and tape because you don't have to wait for anything to dry. It holds our boxes and treat bags together. And I like to use my take your pick tool to just pick off that top layer of the adhesive. All right, for this, we're gonna take our tab with the glue and we're gonna put it on the inside of our box. Now with tear and tape, there is no repositioning it. So once you put it in there, while you don't have to wait for anything to dry, if it's not in the right spot, it's gonna be there. So what I'm doing is I'm just picking off the top layer with my take your pick tool. This bottom layer of my, or bottom crease of my tab is gonna line up with this bottom piece of my box. So just put that right Ooh, see, I didn't put it in the right spot. There we go. And then just kind of rub that together. Now these tabs are gonna go on the outside of our box. So we're gonna put tear and tape adhesive on the inside of these two tabs here. So just a piece right down the middle will work for that. And a piece of tear and tape adhesive right here. And we're going to peel off our adhesive with our Take Your Pick tool. And like I mentioned, these are gonna go on the outside of our box. So just like that there. Don't worry about this little crease, you won't see it. We're gonna cover it up with some designer series paper, so don't worry about that. And we're gonna fold that right like that. So this is the precursor to our box here. Okay, next we're gonna take our designer series paper. Now this designer series paper, I cut it a little longer than what I'm gonna need. So I'm gonna trim off some of the edge here. And because you won't see the bottom, you can even use scissors. And if it's uneven, it does not matter. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take some liquid glue and we're gonna glue this to the inside of our box. So this will be the little backdrop. I'm using liquid glue because I'm gonna slide that in, and if it's not exactly where I want it, like right now it's not, I can have a few seconds to kind of shift and shimmy my paper around and it'll be exactly where I want it. And see, like I said, nobody will even see the bottom of the box, so it does not matter what that bottom looks like. All right, next we're gonna take our designer series paper, these longer pieces, the measurements, again, a little bit longer, so I am just gonna trim off the bottom of these. I think my original box was just a little bit different in size, so yeah, it was just a little bit bigger, but that's okay. This box will work as well. And we're just gonna put these, again, liquid glue, we're gonna put them on the side here so that I can move them around. You wanna put your designer series paper on first. So you can see here, I cut this at an angle. You wanna put your paper on first so that when you cut, it'll be all together, one cut. Our other piece, I'll trim this down a little bit, with liquid glue is gonna go on the side here. And then our designer series paper on the front is gonna go right there in the middle. So all the measurements for the designer series paper are on that PDF that is on my website. All right, so there we go. Now this is where we're gonna trim. So if you are right-handed like myself, it could be a little tricky. So we are gonna trim for the corner of the top of the box right down to where the fold is. Now, because we're gonna be doing corner here to corner here, it's a little difficult if you're right-handed when we flip the box over. So we're just gonna cut. Now this is all freehand cut. You don't have to ensure it's even because you're just cutting corner to the bottom of where that tab was. And then right here is the difficult part if you're right-handed, making sure you're cutting it the right way. And then you may need to flatten the box out a little bit. And you're just gonna cut corner of the box right into the corner. So that creates that angled little side, and then our designer series paper is flush with the top of our cut. All right, now to embellish this. So we've got our little marshmallow guy that fits right in there. You can put bigger pieces of candy, like a Kit Kat bar would fit in there. But like I said, I found this marshmallow pumpkin tree at Walgreens and it fits right in this box. All right, 2 circles. These are from the Layering Circles dies. We have Granny Apple Green cardstock cut with a scalloped circle die and basic white cardstock with a regular circle die. and a piece of Highland Heather cardstock. This is cut with the Tasteful Labels dies. So I pre-cut all of that just to save us a little bit of time here. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna stamp our sentiment, the treat yourself. This is in our Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And let me line this up. And like I said, I'll have to stamp off camera just so that I can get it closer to me and I can see exactly and line it all up. Especially with the stitching, you want to make sure it's all lined up and ready to go. All right, next we're gonna stamp our little roller skate girl. So she's got this cute little Halloween costume on and she fits right into this circle die cut. And right there. I am again using the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. This is because I am also going to be using Stampin' Blends markers on her. Not nearly as much as our last little guy, but we will be using Stampin' Blends on her, so we're going to be using Memento ink, like I mentioned with the whole stinky versus non-stinky before. All right, on her, we are going to be using, let me get the two that I used before here. All right, on here, we're using the Bronze and Ivory Stampin' Blends like I used on the last little guy. Pumpkin Pie, Light and Dark. Granny Apple Green, Light and Dark. And our Highland Heather, Light and Dark. So all three of these colors are on the box, and these Stampin' Blends go perfectly with the colors of our box. All right, we're gonna start with our purple, and I'm just using one of the colors for her shirt here. You can do the alternating colors like I did on the last guy, but I felt like one little color was enough on her. And I'm just coloring her leggings and her t-shirt under there. So done with purple. Next we have Granny Apple Green. This will be the dark color we're going to be using on her. The topper of the pumpkin here. Her roller skates will be Granny Apple Green. And that's it for this part, for this color. Granny Apple Green. Pumpkin Pie, we're just using the dark Pumpkin Pie. This will be the top of her hat. Her outfit is Pumpkin Pie. I mean, you can't have a pumpkin outfit without it being pumpkin pie. It's only fitting that it's this color. And her little treat box, or her bag, is a pumpkin as well, her bucket. And then the rest is all the ivory and the bronze Stampin' Blends. So we're gonna color in the top of the pumpkin with the bronze. Her hair will be bronze as well. Again, like I had mentioned, these two colors can be mixed and matched and blended together to really create different skin tones. And then her face will be ivory. Her hands. And then as a final touch, a little Winkostella. I love Winkostella, and I'm just putting it right on her little pumpkin treat bucket, her candy bucket, and that's gonna make that really shimmer and shine on the project. I like to use liquid glue when I'm doing these two circles together, just so I can line up the circle to the inside of the scallop here. You can move the paper around and get it exactly where you want it. On the back of this, we're gonna put some dimensionals. I'm gonna put one kind of up here and one towards the middle. Just 2 dimensionals is all you need for this. And it's gonna go right on the front of the box. It is gonna overhang the side a little bit. And then for our treat yourself, just like our last piece with the bumblebee cardstock, we're gonna add a little bit of liquid glue to the back side of the left of this. Now for the other side, we're gonna add a Stampin' Dimensional. So this will be even with our circled die. If we were to put Stampin' Dimensionals on both sides, one side would be higher because this is already popped up. So with our liquid glue on one side, our dimensional on the other, we'll be able to adhere the entire sentiment to the box, and it's all flush in one layer. All right, so that is our little pumpkin treat box here with the marshmallow candy. Like I mentioned, you can make these bigger, smaller. It's really about getting the dimensions of whatever candy you want to put inside first and then kind of working around that. I use these little Hershey's fangs to create one as well. They stand out a little bit more, but with the treat bag and then this little black and white gingham ribbon, you can really step up your projects. But I hope you guys like this little box. Like I said, Walgreens, they have so many of these different flavors, but I thought the little pumpkin marshmallow is really fun to put in this box, and the colors kind of coordinate with each other too. Now, if you're worried about the candy falling out, you can always take a glue dot and put it right on the back of the chocolate, and you can even like have it stand up more so you see whatever design is actually on the packaging other than kind of tucked away in there. So I hope you guys like this little box. Let me know what you guys think. I love the little addition of the Wink of Stella just to give it a little shimmer and shine. And then really with this Cutest Halloween Designer Series paper, it makes it kind of stand out against the Granny Apple Green. All right, so I'll bring in our first project today. Let me know which one is your favorite. I have to say, I think the little treat box is definitely my favorite. It's really cute. You can customize it to match whatever kind of candy. You could even put it in the little cellophane bag with a ribbon at the top and kind of gift this to coworkers, neighbors, friends, your postman. I always like to give my little mailman some fun treats around the holidays and when I have a large pickup for packages. So let me know which one you like first. I think the fall box does it for me this week. I hope you guys like them as well. All right, so thank you everybody for joining me for another week of Makers Monday, but today on a Wednesday. I apologize for not being able to go live the last 2 weeks, but of course, you know, both of those things were outside my realm of being able to come live to you. I hope you join me next week on a real Monday where we will continue on some really fun projects for fall and Halloween. And I look forward to having you join me again next week. I hope you all have an amazing week and I will see you next time. Bye.